Going on YouTube, back with another video. Kind of expected not this, well, didn't expect to make another video, but I was like, you know what, why not? So today what I'm gonna do, as you can tell, the side glass is off. For that reason is because I'm putting some Gander doors on the 86. I haven't really seen a video of how to do this or how to put it on your car, so I was like, you know what, let me do it. I only seen like one or two on how to do it on a first gen, but it wasn't really that detailed, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this for the 86 community, mostly for the second gens, on how to put a Gander doors if you ever get some and you have no clue how to do it, especially DIY. If you don't want to spend that extra $280 on buying those brackets, so you could do it, make it hassle free. But if you enjoy working on your car and saving yourself that money, well, I hope you stay and watch and see how we get it done. But just to clarify some things, I kind of already did started. I kind of just like halfway through I was like, you know what, let me start recording this, make it helpful. So yeah, so all I did as of now is remove the door panel, which is just 3 screws you gotta take off in order to just pop it off. Oh, and also you gotta be careful when you're popping it off because it does have that connection for the bottom light and your switch controls and your handle. The handle won't just pop off, they just slide off, and then disconnect the speaker, the switches for the windows, so you can remove the plastic off. And yeah, that's it. All you have to do now is take off these 2 10s that are holding the bracket from the top, and then there's another one around here. I think that's 12, I'm not sure, but just taking those 2 off and then this one off. You're just gonna pull this whole thing bracket back from the chassis and then just slide it out. But I'm just gonna get those loosened and then I'll show you how it's done. This real quick. Figure out brake on me. There we go. So now, after I loosened these 10 millimeters on top, remove this plastic sheet, disconnected the, what was this? I guess the harness, so you can able to pop off the clip that holds the other part of the harness to here, so you can pull it back and be able to get the 12 that's right here. Move by hand, get this 12 off. This thing should be loose, as you can tell. Remove the other 10s. Then after that, just pop it from the back so it can come out from the hole that was from. And then it should be able to just lift it right up like that. Sit around so the bottom part come right out. Just like that. This piece is out. Alright, so now since we have the side glass off, as you can tell, in order to move the glass from the whole bracket, it's just a 10, and then you have to put some needle nose pliers just to the right here so you can hold it in place. So you just put the needle nose, the 10, simple as that, guys, and that's how you get this bitch off. So you can get that down, and then I'll show y'all how it looks when it's off. Literally was struggling just to take these off because the needle nose would keep on slipping. I was trying to turn the 10, but got it done. Now that I got these 2 separated, I can now use the glass as a template onto the material that I'm going to use in order to replicate this, so I can put it on the car and head the Ganador onto here. The reason I try to do this instead of buying brackets is because why the hell would I spend $280 for some brackets when I can just make it for like, I don't know, 50 bucks with plexiglass. It is thicker than the actual mirror, as you can tell. It's difference, but those are the closest I could get because the other ones were either too thick or too thin for the seal for it to go in the seal. So I feel like this is gonna be best. It's close to the other one, the other brackets that came with the Ganador. So this is what I'm gonna use. So now all I'm gonna do is just put the glass on here, trace it out, and just cut it. And then once I have that cut down, I'll put it into the bracket and see how that fits and test fit it on the door. So now you can see I have traced the templates out. I even marked the holes of where the hardware is going to go. Make it easier for me instead of guessing it or putting it on there and then try to drill it because I don't want to damage the bracket anyway. So I just did that, did the holes at the same time, did the right side, left side, just flip the glass over. And now that I have all of it traced out perfectly as I can, all I gotta do now is just cut it and get it done right and just fit it on back to the bracket. Alright, now to cut them out, you could use a grinder or any sort of cut wheel that you can get. You can. Good enough to cut this out. And what I'm gonna use, I mean I have both, but I'm just gonna use this. So it's so much easier. Since it's pretty sure I have a compressor, I was like, you know what? Just use this. But make sure you have safety glasses so you don't get shit in your eye, because since I work in a shop, you always gotta wear these, because every time you cut anything in metal, anything, you don't wanna get that shit in your eye. Because once it's in your eye, you're cooked. Gotta go to the hospital and get that shit out, because that's not a good thing. So safety first. But yeah, so let's get to cutting. Oh shit. And always be careful, especially if you're using a tool like this. You don't want to lose a finger. Or, I don't know, a body part. Can break your see, finally got one cut out. It's not perfectly to the template. I just cut it out so I have some exit so I could just get that down nice, match on it completely like the mirror. And then I left the corners little tabs so I could just shave that down, sand it down, and just do that nice little curve like I did down here. Did that part, and just gonna do a little bit more. And then like on this edge and this edge, it's perfectly rounded. You just gotta sand them down, make it smooth so it's not as rigid with the fucking saw I just did with the grinder. So yeah, this is on the, I think this is the driver's side, which I showed you then the passenger side where the door's already turned off. But yeah, so I already got one of them done. I was gonna start doing the other one, and after that I'm just gonna start prepping them pretty good so they're pretty easy to put into the bracket. So it actually took quite a while to get this done. I was trying to make sure I didn't fuck up. I did kind of nicked it a little bit, but you're not gonna be able to see since it's gonna be covered by the Ganador. But yeah, man, one down, another one to go. Got the templates out done, full of all this residue, but templates are done. Like I said, I just gotta sand them down, make those edges fine, smooth. I think on this one, the tip did break, but it broke right where it needs to be rounded out, so kind of worked out for itself. Compared to this one, how I had the tip, but I have to shave that down right here. I was gonna sand them down, make them holes with the drill bit. This one exactly, I recommend using this type, because that way you can, you know how much you're gonna go, and not make it too big. I'm probably gonna use just the OEM hardware that came with the bracket instead of the hardware on the bracket. That way it could be OEM as possible, have that good seal instead of using different type of bolts and nuts and all that stuff, cause of leaks. So yeah, I'm just gonna sand these down, make them look pretty, do the holes with the drill bit, and then put it on the bracket and test fit the hell in. Since I got the holes done, I also want to show y'all, if you're using the OEM hardware, it has this little plastic ring where it's like it locks into the hole, so it has a good connection. I made the hole a little bit bigger just for that as well, instead of just making it big enough for the bolt to go through. Because the first hole it went through, but I noticed that this wasn't completely sealed in. So now when I put it on there, it's in there. You know what I mean? So yeah. If you're doing that your second gen, if you're using OEM hardware, make sure it's a snug fit, literally. Put good, secured, fold in, and shit, I think you're good to go. So all I gotta do now is finish doing the sides, get that all cleaned up, put it in the bracket, and put it in the car. So right to an issue. So quick pause of the video. As I said it before, when I was cutting the plexiglass, all that residue was going all over me, and I didn't notice when I was editing this or going over the footage, I actually had some on my face. And that was pretty bothering me, and since I recorded it, I can't go back in time and redo this again. So I was going to put this in, let you guys know. If y'all see some shit on my face, it's just plexiglass. That being out the way, clarifying whatever the fuck was on my face, let's get back into the video. This is a little bit too thick on the inside. So when I put it right next to the OEM mirror, line up the holes. You can tell how much I have to cut still, and a little bit on the top. I tried to put it in the bracket. It went in, but the holes wouldn't line up. So I do have to shave this down on both sides so it can be flush pretty much. And I'm only gonna be doing the passenger side because that's the only door I have disassembled, and it is getting pretty dark already. It is around 5:30, so I'm trying to get that done, get us nice and clean, and then I'm probably gonna pick this back up when I get the Ganadors back, because I have left them on my shop to get painted and they haven't painted yet, and then told me on Monday they would. So I'm just gonna get this brackets done, see if it all fits, and if it does, once I get the mirrors, I put those back on and I will start back up with that. But as of now, I'm just gonna shave that. Hopefully I get it done before it gets dark, and if not, I mean, I'll probably just do it when it's dark, and I don't know, or I just pick it up and I get the mirrors. But yeah, so I'll get to that and I'll let you know. Alright, after shaving down, I got it to fit. It matched the holes, looks perfectly. It was a bitch to fucking put it in here, simply because since it is a thicker glass and it doesn't curve like the original, I had to take it slowly and shove it in there because this bitch, it is a little bit loose on top, but it should be fine. I could just probably loosen the bolts and just push it a little bit up higher, but as now looks good. So now, since I have this side done, I'm gonna go put it in the car. Hopefully that fits with no issues. And I'm just gonna put it back into the car, seal it up, and if it all fits, put the door back together and boom. Bracket number 1 is done. Passenger side. And then I'll do the driver's side. I don't know. Probably gonna get the mirrors because it took me quite a while to ship it back down again. But yeah, let's go to the car and put this back on. I apologize for the bad lighting, but it's already dark and I'm only got a flashlight for now to show y'all how to put it back in. But basically the same way how you took it out is gonna be the same way how you put it in. Make sure you have your screws ready to put it back in there. So I'm gonna put it in through like this. Screw fits in the window, so it has clearance to go back in. Once that's through and the bullet has cleared, you twist it. Oh shit. Bit of off-camera work. After you put it in, you gotta make sure the rod that goes into this bolt is away from the chassis door, because it's not gonna let you in because it has a little slot you have to put it in through. But just put it in, make sure you put it in through the mirror first, through the glass, window glass first, so it'll line up well. And then once that, just bolt it back up, close the door, and see everything fits well. One more thing I like to mention is whenever you take something off and put it back on, usually there's markings of the bolts or where they used to be at. So when you're putting it and tightening it, make sure you match those markings so it can sit as it was before OEM or with the original glass. I can't show you, but basically just the glass is hitting on that windshield when it closes. So all I'm going to go to do is just lower just a tiny bit and it should close just perfectly fine. Actually, even I moved a little bit down, it still was hitting just a tiny bit. So all I did was shave it just a tiny bit on the part where it was hitting. But now, when I close, doesn't hit, doesn't make any noise. Looks clean. There's no areas where water can go through it. Since it's thick, it's going to protect from anything getting in. Yeah, man, I think it looks pretty good to me. Pretty glad I was able to get this done. Saved myself a hell of a lot of money doing this instead of having to buy those brackets. So now all I got to do is the door back together. I can't take off the OEM mirrors yet, simply because I don't got the Ganadors. But after I get the Ganadors, I'm gonna take these off. Probably keep them if I ever want to go back. But yeah, once those are off, like I said, this is gonna be a big ass hole because this has to be covered from the OEM mirror. But I was gonna put some vinyl for now until I could be able to get those clips somehow. But yeah, man, it's been a long day. I should have been doing this since the morning, but got lazy and just did it now. But glad to see that this was able to fit. Looks pretty good. All the scratches and everything is not a big issue because the mirror is gonna cover it. But yeah, man, I think that should be good for today, for tonight. Hope that wraps up for this video. I'm thinking about doing this as a part 2 or a series. So this is gonna be part 1 and part 2 is gonna be the rest of it. So yeah, I hope this was pretty informative and helpful for anybody who wants to put Ganadors on their 86, especially the 2nd gen, and the process of how to make those brackets, I guess. But yeah, if you got any questions or any concerns or any help with doing this, just hit me up. I'll put my Instagram or just leave a comment. I'll reach out when I can. I'm pretty excited to see how the car looks with the Ganadors. I am gonna update y'all or let y'all know when the second video drops for this series, and I hope y'all like it. Hope you leave a comment. Hope you like the video. Hope you share it, and hope you guys subscribe. So if you like what you're seeing, stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you guys on the next one.